last several years, NCAA championships were go-behinds, primarily from front headlock or short arm position. So being very proficient here is important. And again, it's very, very high percentage, right? If someone's underneath you, unless they have a killer sucker drag or they're awesome at ducking their head through, I should be scoring the majority of the time. And if I can go from that being high percentage to 100%, I'm golden. I'm going to score a lot of times here and just keep putting points on the board. So a million ways to set up a front headlock. There's no wrong way, so if you've been shown something different, stick with it, whatever you're comfortable with. But I'm going to show you my favorite way, and it's from what I call a base tie. So just a collar and a wrist. Okay, so I'm going collar tie, I'm going wrist tie. I like to go thumb to the outside. Thumb to the inside is okay, but here he can either just roll his wrist out, okay, or you can take this hand and pop my wrist off pretty easily. Or you can pop this way, right? Just pop, take your hand and just pop my wrist that way, right? It's pretty easy to clear. So it works just as well mechanically, but it's a little bit harder for him to defend. If you're looking thumb to the outside, now try to roll your wrist out, right? Try to pop it off, right? It's a lot harder. Okay? So base tie, collar, wrist. First thing I do is get his hips out. Okay, so I'm going to fake towards whatever his lead leg is. It doesn't matter which one it is, but I'm going to step with my lead leg towards his lead leg and also push his wrist there too to kind of increase the threat a little bit. Okay, so I step, I push his wrist to give him a fake. When he steps back, his hips are now out. Now I can pull him underneath you. I'm going to snap from this collar tie, and I'm also pulling from this wrist. I'm not pulling it straight down, not pulling it into me. I'm pulling it down on an angle while snapping. And I'm going to catch his chin with the hand that's on this wrist. It's very important, right? This hand is already down low. It's ready to receive his chin. I don't have to waste time coming here and trying to switch my hands up, right? This hand's already here. Just snap them inward. Okay? So again, collar, wrist, I push, I step and fake towards his lead leg. When his hips come out, I snap, I pull, boom. Okay? First thing I'm doing is keeping his head here for just a second, where his head is underneath my chest, and I have my elbows pinched in, kind of like holding the football. Once I have this position secured, again, not here long, maybe I have a second, maybe a second, I can then take this hand that's on top of his head, snake it over his armpit, and get to my good front headlock position. Also really important, good front headlock position. And my head is square over his back. Okay? If my head starts hanging off to the side here, okay, he's no longer carrying my weight, one, so it's a little bit easier for him to move. Two, my elbow by default automatically comes out, so he can duck underneath it, right? I'm going to be in a lot of trouble there. So when I get to that front headlock, notice my elbows are pinched in. I have shoulder pressure right between his shoulder blades. I have my ear to his back, but my head is square over his back. It's not coming off to the side at any time. Okay? Carrying my weight on my toes, I'm good here. Okay? One more time, base tie, collar and wrist. I'm faking, both pushing this wrist and stepping. When he steps back, be a good partner here. I'm gonna pull, boom. The hand on the wrist is ready to receive his chin. I hold this position, elbows pinched in tight, his head's under my chest. Once it's secure, I'm just taking this hand on the head, swimming over to the armpit. I have my position. I have shoulder pressure, my head is square over his back, my elbows are pinched in tight. One more time all the way through. Here, secure, here, right? Then you start dragging in a little bit, just move. Let's just get there for right now because everything we're gonna do is gonna be off that side. 1, 2.